What's up, guys? I'm Teresa, and I'm here with some special guests. Feel free to introduce yourselves, because they can't see video.
I'm Tom. I play bass in Minshara.
I'm Evan. I play drums in Minshara.
I'm Liam. I play guitar in Minshara.
I'm Aaron, and I sing and play guitar in Minshara.
Alright, so how old are you guys?
Well, in dog years or in human years?
Both.
Well, I'm 33. Liam?
I'm 18.
Evan?
I'm 30.
I'm 38.
How did you guys
We're
meet?
We're men. We're manly men in tights.
In the substance.
Tight jeans.
Definitely. How did you guys meet?
Well, Tom and I have been playing in bands for over 15 years, at least, if not longer. And then Evan joined the band in 2012, and Liam joined the band last year. And I met Liam through the one guy that produced our record. He was also producing his girlfriend at the time, girlfriend Madison Ryan, who's also putting out a record. And at the time, he was at the studio, and we were looking for replacement for the guitarist that had moved, Mike. He moved to Philly, so we were looking for someone to replace him, and he suggested that we bring Liam into the fold, and so we hung out and had a few jams and ended up working out. So, yeah. Yeah, and that leads us to where we are today.
So how did you guys become a band?
How did we become a band? Well, we met at I guess the thing is I've been playing music, for a really long time, and then I was playing with a couple different guys when we first started this band, and some of them left, whether it was for personal, moving it away for personal reasons, or we just didn't clash. We were clashing musically or whatever. But we met at a Circus Survive Dread show, which is some of our favorite bands, and kind of just came together in 2011, and that was it. That was the start of Minshara, and here we are.
Here we are today.
Here we are 7 years later.
How did you come up with the name Minshara? Wait, what did he say? I couldn't hear him.
Sorry. My roommate's doing laundry upstairs. the laundry machine's really loud.
The dryer.
Yeah, you can probably hear my dad playing his game, too, and our dog going insane.
My roommate is actually the same guy that shot our music video.
Really?
Edited it.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ignore any growling you're hearing. That's my dog, and it just means he's happy.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's
Well,
fine.
if you hear any licking sounds, don't worry. That's just my dog licking her butt. So.
Your dog keeps showing up on Brayden's Snapchat lately, and I'm like, oh my god,
I
so
have to
cute.
tell her to stop, and it's really it's becoming a problem. They might have to take her to therapy. So.
Your dog keeps showing up on my Snapchat feed, and it's the funniest thing. Brayden keeps posting videos and pictures.
Yeah, she really misses Brayden. She's really sad. I came up from practice and she was sleeping on his glove that he left here.
Aww.
Yeah, she was sleeping on it.
Brayden stole your
So
dog.
cute. She slept on Brayden since he was here for 3 weeks. So.
Asher.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my goofball.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
He is. He's a goof. And I think he's running to get his ball. Oh god. You don't want when he gets the ball, he will not leave you alone with it. Yep, that's what he got. It's fine.
Nice.
Anyways, how did you guys come up with the band name Minshara?
It was actually from a Star Trek term, which is funny because none of us are even Trekkies or anything like that, but we kind of went with the name because it was definitely not going to be like trademarked or taken, so like we could get it trademarked and all that stuff. So it was easier than to, you know, we at first we ran into some issues with people not knowing how to pronounce it, not knowing how to spell it. But I mean, we've been around long enough for at least anyone locally or regionally knows how to say or spell our name. So, but it means life. In like generally, the generalization, it's a generalized term or definition would be life, but it actually, the Vulcan definition
Minshara?
is
An M-class planet is a planet capable of inhabiting humanoid life.
yeah. So we just kind of use that as like
Earth is
Minshara
an
stands for the
planet.
M-class planet.
Minshara class, M-class.
Yeah, a planet that can hold humanoid life. So any like Earth is an M-class planet, you know, and there's actually the only M-class planet that's been known.
That's our fan base right there.
Yeah, everyone that's
The M class.
the M-class.
The M class.
The M-class.
This class is in session.
Sounds like the name of a movie, the M Class.
True.
Could be. That's what you guys could call it if you ever came out with a movie. You could call it the M Class.
I probably will.
Let's get started.
Honestly, that would probably be like the a good name for the fan base.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Works. What genre would you consider your music?
Pop, rock, with a touch of, you know, with a touch of electronic elements, I think, right? There's also a couple like nods to our original sound, which was a little more progressive, but especially in the genre that we're moving forward into, it wasn't, you know, we're kind of getting away from the super heavy stuff and kind of more focusing on writing really good songs, whether it be pop songs or just good melodic songs.
What
Mellow
musicians
album.
are you inspired by? You guys are lagging on my end. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. My internet's a
No,
bit
it's-
slow.
Musicians that inspire us, guys.
Long list.
It's a super long list.
Yeah, it's
Just name like two.
It all started with Metallica for me. Metallica is the reason I play guitar.
Metallica is the reason I also play guitar, but I play bass now. But when I started playing, James Hetfield was life. Yes.
I agree. Lars Ulrich, definitely a starter for me.
So Metallica for most of us. But then, you know, as we got older, I think the 1975 was a big inspiration the past couple years because I just really was a fan of I was born in the 80s and grew up through most of it, and that sound really resonated with me, and I think with a lot of the other guys too, especially Tom, because Tom and I have a lot of similar interests and inspirations, and we come from George Michael and stuff like that. In fact, Tom even did a playthrough of George Michael about a year or so ago, right?
Yeah. Hard day.
Hard Day, yeah. So and then we also like a lot of Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson's huge influence. When we actually did a couple shows, not with this lineup, but with the previous lineup, where we actually played a bunch of Michael Jackson songs for a Halloween cover show, and it went over really well. I would say Incubus is one too, because that's another group that we did. More recent art. I mean, I'm a huge. I don't know. The other guys probably aren't as much as I am, but I do a lot of DJ work and production work, in the EDM stuff, and I've really always been a big fan of Sonny Moore and Skrillex and stuff like that too, because his production's just out of this world compared to most. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it comes from everywhere. I mean, I love so much music. It's really hard for me to pick just a couple. So But there is a few. That's a few at least to list for you.
That's a pretty good
Ken-
list.
Kendrick Lamar. I mean, that's like we all love Kendrick Lamar. We're all big hip hop fans here. Like Logic is like the newest stuff we've been listening to, the new Logic, and I don't know. I like Migos personally. I think Migos is they're fucking awesome. But
Captain Geach and the Shroom Shack Shooters.
yeah, Captain Geach and the Shrimp Shack Shooters was a big one too.
That's a first for me.
Well, you know, you had to be there.
That's from way back.
With Metallica, did you guys ever hear about the I Am the Table thing from their one song?
I Am the Table?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
There was this collab album they did with someone a long time ago. I don't remember who it was, and like everyone jokes about it. And in the one song, partway through the song, James Hetfield just like repeatedly, for no reason, just says, "I am the table, I am the table," and no one knows why.
Lulu, I have that.
That Lulu, yes, that one.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't get more than 3 minutes into that album.
No one likes that album. Everyone makes fun of it. Even the band makes fun of it. But in one of the songs on there, James Hetfield just says, "I am the table" over and over again. It's a running joke at my house.
That's awesome.
What a bunch of goofballs.
Yeah, it's like out of nowhere, someone will just be, me or my aunt will just randomly be like, "I am the table," and then just go on with whatever the heck we were just doing. Who would you like to collaborate on a song with in the future?
As in like have them like feature like a feature kind of thing.
Yeah.
Ooh. Just like realistically, or just like shooting for the stars.
Both.
Well, realistically, I would say probably Braden. I mean, Say We Can Fly. He's a good friend of, and a big supporter of us. So I'd love to, either do a track with him. Braden and I wrote a track recently together. I don't know if I'll like actually perform on it or whatever, but I mean, for Minshara to play with Braden, I mean that would be awesome too. I actually remember bringing that up after I went on tour with him in Europe last year. I was like, we should maybe cover one of his songs because it could actually be really cool with like full band, But and then Shooting for the Stars, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, obviously, like the dream would be like to be like a backing band of some kind, like for like Kendrick Lamar or something like that would be cool.
Super cool.
Yeah. Even like maybe someone that's like in the same genre, like Anthony Green would be a cool collaboration. I would love to do that. Or Chino Marino from the Deftones or something like that. I mean, that's personal, but I mean, it would still be sick.
I could see the Braden one happening, definitely. That would sound awesome. Like, whether it's you guys on one of his songs or him on one of your songs. Either way, that would just be so cool.
It would be cool if we just played his music and he still sang his song. Just absolutely, we just were his band at that point.
Yeah.
That would be
I'd
pretty
be down for that.
He'd probably agree to it, too. No, he'd be like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, if we definitely practiced it and everything, I'm sure he'd definitely be into it.
I think at Warped Tour he had a full band the one year, right?
Yep. Yeah, he didn't really like the full band idea, like as his thing,
Yeah.
But it went over well. People liked it.
What do you do outside of the band?
What? Wait, what do you mean?
Like
jobs?
Job-wise, hobbies?
Well, I mean, I work for a music management firm, and so I tour manage some bands here and there, and I also do a little production work here and there, and I also do some production managing, like at a club in Harrisburg. What about you, Liam?
Well, I'm a barista at Starbucks, and that's about it. Other than that,
Okay. Hold on 1 second. right, never mind. How about
Well, early in the day I paint, and then I
paint what?
and by paint it's not like artsy paint. I paint townhouses. Kind of, I guess. If you like white.
He provides the canvas of life.
I paint Tuesday white every day.
What you do every day, it's art.
But after I get done with painting, then I go to BCR Music and I teach guitar and bass to young and old people.
That's cool.
Then on the weekends and some weeknights, I'm a bouncer at Harrisburg Midtown Arts Center. So I do all the things.
Day and night.
That's right. How about you, Evan?
I work at Juice and Java. It's a cafe / catering little department. I do everything there, pretty much. And that's all I do besides this band.
That's not true. What about?
You got any cats?
Hey, Darth, your drummer DJ duo.
Yeah, that's true.
I do that every few months or so.
And you play in another band,
Evan and I are both in a band called Dead,
which is
My Chemical Romance tribute band.
Oh wait, were you guys that one you guys played with?
Stuff going on.
Was that the one you did back in October?
Yep.
That was cool. I liked seeing that.
Huh?
You guys did awesome.
Wait, hold on. This is Josh. He shot our music video that just came out today.
Hi Josh, you did a good job.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, Teresa.
Welcome.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
Where are the trash cans, by the way?
They're down at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, they were so
Thanks for
filled.
interviews. Where are the trash cans?
By the way. So now everyone knows where my trash is. Very protective about my trash, just so you know.
Okay, what is your
Oh, yeah.
favorite song to play live?
Yeah, brother. Favorite song to play live?
Yeah.
Probably that Michael Jackson cover song.
Yeah, we just did a cover of PYT. That is like one of my favorites to play. We also have like we have a new song that I'm really a big fan of that we've been playing the past couple shows called "What Are You Waiting For?" But I don't think that's gonna be like the actual title. We're just calling it that because it's a simple lyric title, you know, for now. What about you, Tom? What's your favorite song to play?
My favorite song to play probably is Gravity, just because that's one of my favorite bass lines. I was fortunate enough to have written that bass line, and then it turned into that song. So it's a lot of fun, and it makes use of my whole bass. That's the one I like the best.
And what about you, Liam? What's your favorite song to play live?
That's a good question. All of them for different reasons. No, probably Monster 2. I just like getting to really rip on a song. It makes me feel like I don't have to really like hold back. It's really freeing.
True. Did I say mine?
No.
Did I say one?
You should agree
Wait,
with mine.
did you?
Mine was recovered.
Oh, you know,
Oh, you said PYT.
Oh, he did. But personally, I think my favorite Minshara song to play is probably I like that new one, but also I really enjoy Superstition. It's a hard song to sing, but I don't know. I feel like it was really hard when we first started playing it live, because it was definitely a song we wrote in the studio and then had to relearn it live, you know. But I really love playing that song live. Everyone gets a chance to clap along and sing along, and it usually feels really good. Even the video kind of conveys like how I feel about that song. I think, you know, very exciting and, you know,
Yeah, it's a
Fan-
high energy song.
and friendly, I guess.
It was a
would be
good
the word.
time. It
Yeah.
helps with like the way the video looks. It's not like we're faking it. It was a good time.
Definitely.
Oh wait, we have a cameo. Are you ready?
Hey, it's Madison. If I'm seeing that right, it's a bit blurry.
You came through.
Madison can join it if she wants to. She can talk about her music too.
She's being shy.
It's all good.
I don't think so.
Okay. was like, she's just like ran up. Now she's like in front of me. Just jumps up and takes control, I guess. So.
The dog is like, you will pay attention to me.
Oh, don't get. Yeah, she's just always wants attention. She's really clingy right now because Braden's not here. Braden was her buddy, so she gets really, she gets really attached to people. So that's how I can tell she's such a good girl. Look at her. Sandra, do you miss Braden? Don't say his name.
Don't say his name.
Like my favorite part about her, because she just like, she'll like listen to you. It's like she's listening right now. Anyways, back to the interview. Enough gushing about my dog. Next question.
What's the hardest song to play live?
Hardest song?
Deja vu. Deja vu.
Damn, that was loud. Jesus. Deja vu for Liam. What's the hardest, most difficult song for you to play live, Tom? Man. None. For I am.
Most challenging, man. Probably.
It's like they're all so easy.
No, but they're all like varying levels of the same kind of dexterity needed to play. So I don't know. Castles.
Yeah, so
Castles, just because it's better the whole time. My fingers are moving the whole time, especially the outro, the ending. Like I'm moving on that. So yeah, castles.
They modulate like density. That counts as not today.
Yeah. That's actually
That's
true.
So relatable.
That's probably what it is for me too. I'm Your Density is so hard to sing. It's definitely it's at the top of my range, and there's actually like a lot of singing in that song. And if you don't sing it the right way, it sounds off. Like it sounds weird. Yeah, you gotta like. Yep, it is made up.
You guys have pretty long notes to hold out in that song too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like
He's gonna warm up those
a
pipes.
lot of lung capacity. It's definitely a middle of a set type of song where I have to get warmed up to feel comfortable singing it.
Yeah.
So. We also did Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven, and that was also really, really high up in the register. I don't know, for some reason I feel like I'm not a big fan of tuning down to like be able to sing things. I have a high enough range that I feel like if I don't feel like I can actually hit the notes, I'll be like, I can't really hit that. Which doesn't usually happen, because I don't know, I love singing involved, like powerful falsetto stuff. So if I can't do it in that, then you're asking that, which doesn't happen much, but I'll be like, okay guys, it's a little much, I don't think I'm able to do it, you know? Like if someone asked me to sing, you know, Mars Volta, I might have trouble singing some of that stuff, but who knows? Now I've just challenged myself.
Wait, I have to ask, is I'm Your Density a Back to the Future reference?
Absolutely.
Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we made a little Back to the Future thing on our SoundCloud for it.
Really, I have to look at that later.
It's George McFly.
Do you get more nervous playing in front of large crowds or smaller crowds?
I don't know anymore. Honestly, I feel like I don't really get nervous. It's just I just get excited, you know. Like I don't feel like I don't know. I maybe it's just because like Tom and I, we've been through a lot together in bands before this, but like playing with this lineup, like with Evan and Liam, Tom, it feels like I'm like probably the most confident in playing live than probably I've really ever felt. So I don't really feel nervous. That's my answer. What about Liam?
I'm with you almost a little bit on that. Like, I feel like as a musician playing live, a lot of the nerves have passed. I don't really get, and it doesn't really depend on the crowd. I don't think for me, because I feel like I've played shows in front of bigger crowds and been a lot more comfortable. But I've also played. It just depends on the actual like environment more so than the size of the audience. So.
A lot of it too is thinking like we've definitely had every single thing possibly that could go wrong happen to us on stage at shows. So I feel like we're just so. I feel like we're trained to know how to react if something does happen. So I never really feel like insecure about playing. You know. What about you guys? You guys get nervous before?
I just get nervous if like worried about something breaking, like if my drum set or something on my kit or like
Your laptop. Yeah.
If the signal on the stage is terrible, like what if it like jolts it and like turns it off or like
Yeah, I mean
everything's destroyed or like the track is stopped.
the one time we actually were playing a show downtown Harrisburg, it was actually like the week before we left for to record the album that's coming out in April, and our Apogee duet that we use for our tracks just like stopped working, and it only cost about $700 to go buy a new one.
Yikes.
But we had to go buy one immediately because we had no other choice. So we ran out and ran to Guitar Center, bought one, got back, and literally as soon as like I got back, I put on my guitar, I gave the Apogee to Evan, he plugged it in, it worked, and we played the set, and that was what we did, you know, and just we managed to get.
Wow, that's
to make it happen.
I haven't heard that story before.
Well, what'd you say?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep, it happened like
That's probably middle school.
it was at the same night that Flower Garden played, and Dan Delaney got yelled at or screamed obscenities over at John Harris. It was pretty awesome.
Yikes.
It was at Harrisburg University. Final.
Yeah, it was Harrisburg University. That was the first time I met like the Yam Yam guys.
Yeah, because they play with Shawan.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know if we can answer that question.
So pretty much you don't get nervous.
Yeah, we're pretty confident and we believe in each other. So,
Yeah, it's a team effort.
and if things go wrong, it's like, you know what? Things go wrong. What can you do? You can't control it.
It happens.
So,
What was your favorite song to write?
They're all about equal for me.
I was gonna. For me, it's probably Wander, because I kind of like. I remember the first time I kind of like. I would make ideas on my laptop in Ableton and then bring it to the band. And be like, what do you guys think? And you know, we really didn't have it like it wasn't done until we actually were on our way to Atlanta to record it. And I remember writing the chorus in the van after. Stop licking.
What do you say?
I remember. What's that?
What do you say? I couldn't hear him.
Oh, he's just talking to my dog. Yeah, writing the chorus on the way. Like we were like 2 hours away from the studio, and I was like, "What do you guys think of this?" And I sang it for everyone, and they're like, "Yeah, that's really cool." And then I sang it for the producer, and he's like, "That's fire. Let's do it. That's really good. It's really good." And everyone really liked it, and I was really stoked about it. So it ended up being like my favorite part about, you know, at least in the songwriting process. I was really stoked about that. Writing Superstition was also a cool, like, we didn't know what we were doing. Like, we left Atlanta, and it was like, we only got to finish, like, we did all the drums and bass down there, and some vocals, and about half of the guitars. But Superstition was kind of like really bare bones, and then we brought it to Matt Holmes up at the Green Room, and pretty much fleshed it out there and just rewrote whatever we needed to write. And we just had a melody, and we kind of knew what we were going to do with it. And yeah, Superstition just turned out to be like the banger, you know? So that was pretty cool. And it kind of just came out of nothing, you know?
So you had to hear it.
Yeah.
Yep, seems to be a one everybody likes. It's a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there a message you want people to get from listening to your music?
I would say don't give up on your dreams. I mean, I feel like that's kind of been like our whole the whole idea of this band is just like we haven't like given up, even though we've had some member changes on the way. Like I feel like, you know, my whole idea for this band was just kind of like tell stories about things that have happened or situations that could happen, and you know, just kind of letting people know that they're like not alone, and everyone, you know, shouldn't give up on trying to chase any kind of dream that they have, no matter how old they are. So
The road ain't gonna be smooth.
yeah, it's a journey. I mean, I feel like that's kind of how, you know, indicative of us being a band for as long as we have, you know. It's very, like, it's cool to actually say we have a back catalog, you know. So, yeah.
What is your writing process like?
Well, I mean, it's kind of all over the place, really. I mean, like Tom said, he came up with that bass line for Gravity, and I had a couple ideas as far as like what I wanted to do with the vocal line. I remember the vocal that we ended up using was for another song, and I was just like, I wonder if this will work here, and we just like threw it in there. I was like, that works really well, you know, and but a lot of times, you know, if somebody has an idea, I'll try to run with it, you know what I mean, and then be like, all right, let me try to sit with it for a little bit, and I'll put it into Ableton and see what the guys think, and then we'll like practice it full band, and then take out the stuff we don't really want to use live or whatever, just to vibe it out and see what we actually, if we want to change anything in the structure, the notes, you know. And then when, you know, by the time we're actually like willing to play it live, it takes a long time for us to actually be willing to do that, because, you know, we're kind of perfectionists in a way, so we don't want to make sure that anything that we put out is always good. So we don't want to like half-ass anything if we don't feel comfortable with a certain part in a song, or, you know, just don't feel like the song isn't right yet, you know, we probably won't play it. So
Where do you get your inspiration?
For just like everything, I feel like, you know, everyday life is an inspiration. All the things that I've gone through in my life, all the things that all of us have gone through, you know, it's inspiring to still be, you know, constantly surrounded by music. And I felt like even back when we first started this band, we were always in a house, or practicing in a house, or playing in a house that had music going on in it, or I was living in a house that had music in it constantly. So other music is usually very influential to me. What about you guys? Do you guys feel the same? Kind of, I don't know. What do you think? I don't want to be the only one like saying that, like, inspiration. So
Inspiration comes in all forms. Sometimes I'm listening to an old bass line or an old song, and I'm just like, that'd be cool to have a vibe like that. And then you just kind of craft it without trying to take anybody's ideas that's been written previously. I mean, you can keep vibes and a feel or a swing or a beat or something, but sometimes you just gotta create your own thing, but base it off something. And, you know, I think that's what we did with Winter is Coming. We captured that Beach Boys vibe.
Beach Boys is a huge inspiration, by the way. I don't know why we didn't mention that earlier.
Do you write all the song lyrics, or do they all help?
If someone doesn't like the lyrics, they'll definitely tell me. But that's kind of like, you know, I've been the main lyric writer in most of the situations, but I've also had some help too with, like, when in the process of recording, a lot of times the producer won't like what I'm saying, or will help me. Like Matt Holmes helped me with Superstition, and with some, actually he helped me with most of the EP. Just like fixing a couple of things just for it to make a little more sense, or it may just have a little more resonance with somebody than what I originally had. Also, it's kind of like is it the stanza? What is it? What is it? What's that word? where you like the grouping of syllables.
I think
So,
that's a stanza. I could be wrong.
The grouping of syllables to like make a pattern. You know what I mean? So like if you're able to be like really rhythmic with the lyrical content, I think that's really important too. That's something that I actually learned recording this album, especially. It's like the rhythmic is always more kind of like based on what I base a lot of the lyrics on. Like I already kind of know what the melody I kind of want it to be, and then I'll like try to figure out words that'll make the most sense. But yeah, it always changes though. You know what I mean? Like we'll have like the original idea, and then when we go to record it, the producer usually will chime in and try and help develop it just to make it the best it could possibly be as a song. So.
Are your songs written based off personal experience? Sorry, losing my voice.
Yeah, I mean a lot of them are.
Do you have any pre-show rituals?
Pre-show rituals. Do we really? I don't think we really do.
Not really.
I mean,
not anything specific.
No. Yeah, no. I mean, we just sound check. That's about it. Sound check and hang out and
Warm up.
probably eat. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's about it.
Do you have
Yeah.
any funny concert stories? It can be like before, during, or after the show.
I feel like we probably do.
Let's keep it PG here.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't have that many bad stories. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. We'll loop back to that one, because I'll have to rack my brain. Think.
There's one on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember what it was. I think it was something that happened with you and Liam, and I don't remember what it was. I'll have to think about it, because it's gonna bug me now, because I'm pretty sure there was one. Who knows? I'll think of it at some point. Probably when I'm done. Yeah, where are they? Scroll.
Anyways.
Who would you like to tour with in the future?
Oh, this is a good one. Who do you want to tour with in the future? Paramore would be awesome. I actually have a friend that plays in Paramore. He used to work at the same place that Evan, and I used to work at where Evan works at currently. And the one dude actually plays in Paramore now, so Paramore would be huge. What about Tom?
I've been into Panic at the Disco lately. I really feel like that would be a lot of fun. I feel like when you were asking about the who would we like collab with, I feel like Brendan and Aaron would sound good together as a duet. That would be kind of fun too.
That would be neat.
That'd be kind of epic. What about you, Liam?
Dude, no, I can't think of anything better than Panic. That would be so sick.
Panic and Paramore, those would be my top.
Paramore would be really fun, but Panic.
That's a tour I really want to happen now. You guys in Panic at the Disco. Like, at least one show. Come on.
I mean, mine's probably the least cool, but I mean, I feel like we would definitely like make a ton of fans. But if we went on tour with Maroon 5,
I could see that.
yeah,
Did you see
or Nick Jonas, someone like that.
Brandon Urie just singing DuckTales
No.
on Jimmy Fallon? It's sick.
Oh yeah, no, I did see that.
Are there any music festivals or concerts you want to play in the future?
Oh yeah, a ton, all of them, all the really cool ones. I would love to play Bonnaroo. I would love to play Coachella. All those, borderline. Yeah, Glastonbury would be huge. What was the place? Where did I go? The place in Belgium that I was at. That festival was sick.
The Leeds one? I'm not sure where that one is. I know it's out of the country. I'm not sure where the Leeds one is.
It was in Antwerp, Belgium. I forget what it was called, but It was really dope. Yeah. So yeah, all the cool festivals, all the ones that I feel like we would probably do well at. I think.
Crowds would, yeah.
Rock of Allegiance.
Oh, that's a good one. That's over in Westchester too. That's not far.
It's in Philly.
There's-
It's not. It was actually in Camden.
Oh no, I've seen it advertised as Westchester.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, what about MMRBQ? That's a big one.
Oh yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Or what's the one they have down in Delaware? Firefly Festival. Yeah, that would be sick.
It's a big one. What are your goals as a band?
Right now, our goal is to chart on Billboard on our first week sales for the new record. Try to just make as many fans as possible, and and doing it all independently. Really, I mean, we formed our own record label to put this out, and it's really exciting, to actually be in control and we have a good team behind us on all fronts, really. So it's exciting. We have like a lot in the works, and to get on a really good tour this year, and possibly a couple of them, and I don't know. What do you guys? I think that's kind of like where we're at right now, as far as like our current goals. Future goals would be like, hopefully like just to be a complete, sustainable, full-time band all the time.
All the time.
To not have to do anything else.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any new music coming out soon?
Was that a joke?
No, it was my way of getting you guys to start talking about the album. It was a leading question.
Segue.
I like it. I like
Okay.
it. Absolutely. Yes, we have our song Superstition is actually coming out on Spotify this week. And then the record actually comes out on the 13th, this 5-song EP called Overnights that we recorded with Matt Malpass and Matt Holmes. We recorded it in Atlanta, Georgia, and also in Harrisburg. Yeah, and we've been playing the songs for a while now, but we feel like this is definitely our best music that we've made so far. So it's really exciting.
I'm excited for Gravity to come out. I always like when you guys play that one.
That's one of our favorites. Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a groovy track.
It's a jam, so easy to jam out too. I like that one. I always get really excited when it comes on. Okay, so you guys just came out with a music video today. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, we actually got our first real premiere. We've never had a premiere for anything really, so it's really cool. We got a really cool premiere with an awesome blog called Pop Matters, and they're a big e-zine. They've been around for a really long time. They used to be an actual magazine back in the day too, so it's really exciting to actually finally release some new music and then an awesome video to go with it. And really stoked about how the video turned out. The people that helped us create it, it was like a perfect storm that we put together with the perfect amount of awesome minds. So there was no clashing. It was perfectly shot. I felt everything was just couldn't have gone any better on the shoot, and it might have taken a little bit to get it done, but I mean, I feel really excited about it, and I think we're stoked to just finally have a new video out, since we haven't released a music video since our first single from IO. So yeah, it's really exciting.
You guys have been releasing.
All because of that guy.
Yep, he's good at his job from what I've seen.
He is. Josh has got the magical eye. He actually shot a video with Braden over the weekend, so
Ooh, that'll be cool.
it'll be exciting.
Exciting stuff. Off topic, but oh my gosh, hang on, look at this. like peeking around the corner. It was just really funny. He was like, "What are you doing?" Wait, so you guys have been posting these little snippets of videos advertising your new album. Are they going to be full-out music videos, or are they just what you're showing for now?
Actually, no, they're just concepts, for each song.
I'm not sure we get 14 you to do an entire radio for us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the Escape especially, that turned into like a movie trailer where Josh and I were like, I don't even know what to do with what we have, and we shot it so long ago. Like we did most of those clips almost a year ago.
It's 2016.
Yeah, Then we started it in like December 2016, and we finished the shooting for this at the beginning of 2017. So we were like just sitting on these clips because we wanted to we had a couple things go down with like the mixing, and we wanted to get some things fixed on the mastering end too. So it took us a little longer than we wanted, but we also kind of took our time to make sure we released it the right way. So.
Well, they came out really cool, even for how short they are. They just came out really neat.
Yeah, they're just concept little, just kind of like to visualize the song in a way. I would totally be down to shoot a video. The only one that I'm not so sure of is the Winter Is Coming one, but just because it was just so general, but it fit the theme. But I really don't know how we would make a video when the only idea in it is a sword.
We could all.
You could make anything out of that with the sword, though. You could do a Game of Thrones thing, because that seems like something you guys would do.
Maybe just have Liam be a knight and
save the princess, fight the dragon.
Yeah.
Fight the dragon.
Yeah.
Wearing skinny jeans.
Do you guys have any shows coming up?
Yep, our CD release show is Friday, April 13th at HMAC.
The day after.
And the day after that, we'll be in Dewey Beach at Pop Fest.
Really? That'll be
Dewey
fun.
Beach, Delaware. We'll be at the beach. Is that the Rusty Rudder again? Yeah, at the Rudder. Ye old Rusty Rudder of Dewey Beach, Delaware. Dewey Beach.
Sounds like fun.
We're stoked.
I don't think I've ever been down that part of.
Madison's gonna be there too.
I haven't heard anything about Pop Fest.
I don't know when we'll be there.
She's gonna play. She'll be there.
Is it happening? Pop Fest is happening.
She'll be there.
I got an email back in January.
You have.
We responded to it, and then never heard anything back. And my dad has been trying to get a hold of Vicky, but hasn't really had anything luck.
She'll be there.
Well, I gave him
That'd be cool. I'm excited to see both of you on Friday. That day. That'd be cool. What was your school experience like social life?
Who, me? Or
All of
us?
you.
I don't talk about school. Just kidding.
Yeah, how was our school experience?
Like a decade ago at this point.
It was a while. It was a while. Yeah, it was a long time ago. But mine was...
My 20-year reunion is going to be this year.
Hey, Tommy.
How's that? My school experience was... You know what? Here's my school experience. I played guitar because I lived 6 miles out of town. I came home, I had one friend, his name is Shane Moore. He's also the sound guy at HMAC. So we managed to hook back up after all these years. But all I did was play guitar because I lived so far out of town. When I was at school, I would take my guitar occasionally, and that's what I did. When I had baseball practice, I would take my acoustic, and until baseball practice started, I'd sit and play. So people know me holding a guitar. So when we post videos and play shows and stuff, people come up to me and say, you know what, you're exactly the same as you always used to be. So whether that's good or bad, I'm doing the things that they always remembered, and I never stopped.
I think that's a good thing.
That was my high school experience, doing exactly what I'm doing now.
Pretty much the same. I was the weirdo that played in bands all the time, and I'm still the weirdo that plays in bands all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Word to that.
I gotta be out.
You gotta go.
I need to cut short.
Evan's gotta go.
Bye, Evan.
Evan's at the bottom of the driveway, which means we all gotta move.
Oh, yeah.
And I haven't even.
How many more questions do you got?
Let me look for a second. I'm not even in the page because of the type of recorder I'm using. I can cut it to 3 more.
3 more?
Yeah.
3 more?
Alright. Hit me, you guys, do you want me to finish? Hold on a second.
I'm at the very bottom.
Off topic, but I finally remembered what that funny concert story was, though.
Okay, sorry. I was just saying bye to Evan.
Yep. Anyways, I remembered what that funny concert story was, though, and if Liam's still here, I'll tell it. I don't know if he went outside, though.
What's up?
Alright, so I didn't know about this because he never said anything about it, but I was, a while back after that John Nolan show, I was going back and I was looking at my Snapchat story. I made this Snapchat where me and Liam were walking up the stairs, and I wasn't really paying any attention, and apparently he changed sides, and I, moved my arm back for whatever reason, and I almost hit him in the face, and I didn't even know about it. And you can just see him, duck and start silently laughing at me. And he never even said anything to me about it. And then I was looking back later, like, oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Well, that's because Liam's a ninja, so...
He is, and I don't even know how I didn't notice him move, but... I think I was just too bouncing off the walls at that point, though, so that could be it.
Yeah.
Okay, would you rather always have to say everything on your mind or never speak again?
I think at this point in my life, it's starting to get to the point where I always just say what's on my mind anyway. So, I'd rather that than never be able to talk again. I'd rather people hate me for who I am than nobody know who I am.
I kind of agree with Liam, but then again, I'd rather just express myself through an instrument than have to deal with people half the time, too. So, it's kind of half one way and half the other. I guess it depends on the day how I would answer that question.
I love to talk. So, people either deal with what I say or they don't like it, and if they don't like it, they don't have to listen to me. I usually try, and I'm a pretty nice person. I usually don't talk trash, and I usually like to support as much as possible. So I try to stay positive, just try to be like a positive person. And so yeah, I take the form, and people can just deal with what I have to say in the nicest way possible.
Of course.
I don't know if I could ever not talk again. That would be the worst. Imagine trying to...
Imagine,
that would be the worst thing ever, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather just speak everything on my mind because that's mainly what I've been doing lately. So, working out pretty well.
No? Just no talking. Can you sing? Can
You
rap?
you can sing, you can rap. Unless rapping counts as talking.
I'm singing rap, yeah.
Spoken word music. I don't know, would spoken word music count as talking?
Spoken word music.
No, spoken word music cat is what I heard.
Monologues.
Only if it's in iambic pentameter.
I speak in specifically monologues.
Okay, would you rather have to listen to songs by artists you hate for the rest of your life, or every day you have to reread all 56 pages of terms and conditions on iTunes?
Wait, what was the first option?
Only be able to listen to artists you hate for the rest of your life.
The rest of your life. Or what?
Or you have to reread all 56 pages of iTunes terms and conditions every day for the rest of your life.
I would probably learn how to power read and just go through the terms and conditions.
It's only 56 pages. It's versus having to always listen to what I hate.
Plus, who's going to regulate me looking at that or not? It's like, oh yeah, what do you want me to do? Tell you what word was on what page?
Taking a dump.
Wake up, take a dump, read the...
Can't wait. Do that.
We'll take the pages. We'll take the pages.
You'll be able to recite it to anyone.
We'll read. Reading's good for you anyways. So.
If I memorize it, do I have to?
Reading's good for you anyways, and I really don't want to end up listening to like.
Recite it to yourself. Do you have to be looking at
Honestly,
it? Can you just run it through?
It's hard. I'm. You know what? There's only a couple songs that I would consider like being like the most hated songs, and I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna name drop.
I'm not gonna hate.
But
You know what? I still learn from the shit that I hate.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. So there you go.
Now I know.
We're a bunch of readers.
Well, just because I don't like it doesn't mean it's not
good.
subjectively
The
good.
thing is, yeah, you have to
for
take your
certain
own personal
reasons,
opinion out of it.
unless it's absolute crap, like on every level, playing wise, recording wise. I mean,
But still, some people, to somebody,
you still learn, like Jack White's doesn't sound super high five, but
Yeah.
he gets his message across.
I was just listening to it.
It was pretty good. Jack White's the man.
Not sure if I've heard any Jack White's music, not gonna lie. The name sounds familiar, but
You definitely have. You just
You ever heard of the White Stripes?
I've heard of them. I don't think I've heard their music though.
Yeah. That's them.
You've definitely heard that before.
That does sound familiar a bit.
He's the White Stripes guy.
Alright. Any last comments?
Mahalo.
You can pre-order our album on our website, and any support is always welcome. And we got all kinds of cool little bundles that we're getting ready to send out here, and we're just really excited to release this record, and hopefully make
Splash.
I was gonna say make some waves and do some cool stuff, and hopefully everybody will really enjoy the music too.